So the Mandela effect, it's quite real, but there's plenty of mistakes. We are all guilty of that. And if you're Mandela effect sensitive and you don't think that you've erred, then I'm sorry, but there's a good chance you're sadly mistaken. Myself included, we've all made mistakes on Mandela effect. As some of the skeptics say, human memory does have its issues. There's no doubt that some of the things that each one of us might feel as a Mandela effect isn't, and that we experienced a past in our current reality. We've had a past that didn't change with regard to a specific Mandela effect. Um, but there's plenty of strong examples when you have that anchor memory, that complementary memory, where it's just burned into your brain. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The map changes very, very potent, are they? Because it's a visual representation. It's not a spelling like a letter change in a word. The A team van changing. Wow. So the JFK amount of people in the car when he was shot. That I mean that those are visual things. Yes, and then the iconic lines in movies. If it's like a super famous line and you didn't, it's like I never watched a movie. I just heard people like quote it. No, you actually watched the movie and it was important and meaningful for you and you remember. But those are strong ones. But there's plenty of weak ones that we all mention from time to time. And there's no good way to verify which weak ones we're mistaken about. So, but I'd like to point out how sometimes people will say, "Hey, I thought so and so," like a celebrity passes away, and like, "Hey, I thought so and so passed away already," and then they passed away for real. So now it's the second time I've heard them pass away. Sometimes it has to do with living obituaries. Okay, so a living obituary. So if a famous person they're getting older and it's probably only a matter of time now before they're going to pass on, there's publications that will produce what is called a living obituary. And they will summarize the person's lifetime achievements. So in case they do pass away, they'll be the publisher will be ready to produce the document, the publication that talks about all the stuff that person did in their life. The living obituary. So from time to time, these things get leaked and people read them, and that can create a false memory. So, for example, Muhammad Ali passed away recently, at least in my timeline. And prior to him passing away, he probably had living obituaries written by people, and they would write his accomplishments and all these cool things he's done. If someone was to read that a couple of years prior to his death and they weren't hardcore boxing fans and they didn't really like they were just weren't into that and they just happened to read, oh, Muhammad Ali blah 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 was a great man, did this and this, and then it was, that's it, out of their head. A couple of years later, Muhammad Ali dies, and like, wait a minute, I thought he died a couple of years ago. That is a small percentage of Mandela effect mistakes that we make. So yeah, just want to keep things open and honest. And that's one way Mandela effect mistakes can occur. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.